Looking ahead to Sunday's regional finals in the South, it's Creighton and San Diego State looking to make the Final Four for the first time in their respective schools' histories. And then Jim Larrañaga looking to take Miami to where he led George Mason back in 2006. But they'll have to get past the highest seed remaining in the tournament, Texas. Joe Musso, Russ Thaler here in the HQ studio on a Saturday, looking ahead to an Elite Eight Sunday with Chip Patterson and Kenny White. Guys, let's start in the South region. What's the storyline we should be following most closely when Creighton and San Diego State match up with a Final Four berth on the line? Chip?
I'm going to be looking at Creighton's three-point shooting. We saw, obviously, that was the downfall for Alabama against this elite San Diego State defense. The Crimson Tide go 3 for 27. Yikes, from behind the arc. And that contributes to the #1 overall seed getting bounced from the NCAA tournament. And the reason why this is a big storyline is that Creighton has shown us incredible three-point shooting at times this season. Baylor Shireman's absolutely fantastic. Trey Alexander, number 23 right there, he can fill it up. And Nembhard had a terrific performance in the second-round win against Baylor. And so when you've got so many different capable three-point shooters, you know that that ceiling is there. But again, there have been times this season where Creighton's three-point shooting disappears entirely. So seeing that that was what did in Alabama, whether Creighton is going to be its ceiling or its floor in terms of shooting from behind the arc, that dictates who will be advancing to the Final Four.
Live by it, die by it. That tends to be the question for three-point shooting teams at this point. By the numbers, guys, a little between these two. Creighton giving 2, ticking up from 1.5 just shortly ago. Totals 134. Kenny, how you approaching the South Region Final?
Yeah, it's going to be a really fun game to watch. I'm going under the total here. Two great defenses, really led by San Diego State's defense, 4th ranked in the country. They're number 70 in offensive efficiency, so we know the strength. That has always been the Aztecs' key is defense. Brian Dutra, a great defensive coach. Pace-wise, average. They ran a little bit early in the year, but as conference got going, they slowed things down a little bit. I see a very slow pace here in transition defense. Aztecs, the 23rd best transition D in college basketball. They will get back. And number 3 in the country defending the 3, and that's why they gave Alabama fits. They're going to give Creighton some fits shooting that 3 ball as well. So I went under the total of 133.5.
I'm going to take Creighton, and I'm going to lay these points. I just think there's too many buckets out there, and not enough buckets for San Diego State, who got a great performance out of Tremmel against Alabama. Matt Bradley was okay. Normally, Bradley's their go-to guy. But there's just too many options on the Jays for a go-to guy, whether it is Nembhard, whether it is Alexander, whether it is Shireman, or, of course, our 7'1" big man Ryan Kalkbrenner, who, oh, by the way, was just first team all Big East, averages 15.7 points per game, and leads the daggum nation in field goal percentage. I just think that when you start going down the list of, if our alpha isn't working, if plan A isn't working, what are the next options? What is the counterpunch? Where do we pivot to? Creighton's got so many answers to all of the questions. I have been too high on this team all season long. I thought that they got downgraded when Ryan Kalkbrenner had mononucleosis, but since he has returned to action, they have been a top 10 team in the entire country. So I'm going to go with the Jays. I will lay the short number, and seeing the way the movement is going on, I would snap it up now, because if this gets north of 3, heaven forbid, then that might be a little too rich. So let's get Creighton and let's snap it up now.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.